What sparked the latest violent protests at the University of Pretoria and Free State University? Why are there calls to scrap Afrikaans as a language of instruction at the University of Pretoria? And is university management fully committed to address the language policy? How best can incidents of racism at tertiary institutions be resolved? What time is it? It is question time. Welcome to Question Time. My name is Mpho Tsedu. Violent protests at tertiary institutions continue to make news headlines. What started as a predominantly black students' protest against the use of Afrikaans as a language of instruction at the University of Pretoria escalated into violent clashes between black and white students. In a twist of events, classes have been suspended for the next 2 days at the University of the Free State. This after violence erupted between OutsourcingMustFall movement protesters and spectators at a Varsity Cup rugby match last night. A reminder that we are live. And therefore, you can call us and air your views. The number to dial, 089-1104-210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. My guest today, Kabelo Mahlobokhwane, is the EFF student leader at the University of Pretoria. He joins us right here in studio. And from our Bloemfontein studio, Lindoguhle Ntuli, who is the SRC president at the Free State, or at the University of the Free State. And on the line, we're joined by Morné Mosterst. He's the AfriForum student leader at the University of Pretoria. And like I said, the number to dial, 089-1104-210. Our Twitter handle at QuestionTime24. Let's hear your views there. What do you think of the ongoing unrest, racial tensions, and eruptions of violent clashes between black and white students at the University of the Free State and, of course, the University of Pretoria? Gentlemen, let me welcome you to Question Time.
Thank you very much.
Let me start with you. The EFF, what is the problem? Are you saying Afrikaans must fall, as in like no more speaking Afrikaans at University of Pretoria?
No, that's not what we're saying. What we're saying is that Afrikaans must fall in terms of being a language of instruction at the University of Pretoria, a language of communication, and also a culture that is imposed on every student that comes to the University of Pretoria every year.
Give me a typical example. I walk into the University of Pretoria. Chances are, the first person I meet, or the security guard, I need directions, I have to do a huya more and not sorry bro.
No, what is happening at the University of Pretoria is that when you come into the university and you stay at the university control residence, you are forced now to do a culture of the apartheid Afrikaners, which was done during the apartheid eras, but we're expecting a change. You are expected to call people Jeffros, dance to statues, great statues every day and all those things, which is a culture that's foreign to us African people. So we're saying, that should fall. The security guard, before we managed to get in sourcing, they weren't allowed to speak any other language besides Afrikaans or English. So such things. Another reason is that we are saying that if the government at the university is going to speak about social cohesion, we are surprised on how they can speak of unity when they are creating two universities in one. Because now there's African students and English students which are divided but expected to work together after university at work environment. So those are amongst the reasons why we're saying Africa should fall in the University of Pretoria.
Monet, AfriForum has come out very strongly saying there's no way Afrikaans is going to fall. I saw Afrikaner students chanting something to the effect that Afrikaans will stay.
Yes, thank you very much. I think it's important to understand that there is a constitution, the new constitutional dispensation gives 11 official languages the chance to live in South Africa, and we need to embrace the fact that we are a diverse country, a country where there is space for everyone. And it's something that is important for me, especially at the University of Pretoria. It wasn't a fight of black students versus white students. I think it was more a fact where the university was open, and where students supporting Afrikaans on campus was on campus, and where there was a violent protest coming back from court, and we wanted for the importance sake, we want to say that AfriForum just wants mutual respect and recognition, where Afrikaans as language has a place, and we want the University of Pretoria to implement a policy where not only Afrikaans will stay on campus, but also for the development of Sepedi as a mother tongue education on the University of Pretoria, so that there are less students that are excluded from tertiary institutions, but more students can go to the university and study in their mother tongue.
Mornay, what you're saying is not true. The clash that we saw is between black and white students. Why are you saying that it's not like black students were fighting against white students?
During this protest, there was students, there was Indian students, and there were black students also in the crowd standing up for Afrikaans. And
so are you saying black students were fighting amongst each other over Afrikaans?
What I'm saying is part of the students that were standing up for Afrikaans on the University of Pretoria and standing up against the violence being implemented on campus was not only Afrikaans, or was not only white students, but was Afrikaans students taking a stand for a non-violent campus.
Is it just coincidental? Monet, is it coincidental that those who you say were standing up against the violent protest were white, and those who were protesting violently, in your words, were black?
What I'm saying is the group of students that were standing up between the Ola's grass were students that were not happy about the violent attacks that are taking place on campus. And this was a way or a manner for them to also stand up and unite and to say, we don't want a campus where students are being attacked. We don't want a campus where EFF students are running around hitting security guards. This is a place for students to stand up and say, we can't tolerate this violence on campus, and we want a campus where students can go to the University of Pretoria and study. Students are at the University of Pretoria.
Hold the line there. I want to go to the Free State now and just invite the president of the SRC at the University of Free State there. Why were black students invading a rugby pitch and they end up getting bitten?
Well, it is well within the rights of the students and the workers to protest. And first I would like to recognize Section 17 of the Constitution, which gives one a right to protest, to picket peacefully. So this was a protest that had already started last week. So it was a continuation of the protest. What happened here was the university had closed the gates for workers to access the university and deactivated the access cards of the workers. Now, of course, the workers were there for the entire day. The students got angry. The university instigated a court interdict against the students and the workers. And mind you, there was no threat of danger to the university or any person who is in the university. So we drafted a letter of demand to the university requesting for them to hear the workers, bring the workers to a table of negotiations and continue negotiating with the workers. And they have refused. We were told by Professor Jonathan Jansen, who is the Vice Chancellor of the university, that he has too much commitments for the day. And we did not have his diary, so we do not know how busy he was. Whilst we know exactly that he was going to attend the rugby match, and what we did was to march peacefully to the rugby match. We got into the field and we stood as a collective and sang without insulting anyone. And whilst we were singing, the white students who were sitting on the podium, the white students who were sitting at the stands came with their parents and started assaulting at the people who were protesting. They started assaulting at the students and the workers. We had situations where your black workers, black old ladies who were lying on the floor were being kicked like dogs, like white Afrikaner students and their parents.
Okay. Did you disrupt the match?
Yes, we did disrupt the match, but peacefully so.
How do you disrupt the match peacefully, Comrade President?
Okay, there was no violence that was involved, if I can put it in that way.
Yeah, but the fact that you have disrupted means you have interrupted a process that was going on which was not harmful to anybody.
Yes, it was not harmful to anybody, but there was an objective. The objective was to get the university attention and for them to respond to the demands of the workers, which is a demand that they have been running away from. They have promised workers promises last year towards the end of the year, and they have not delivered on those promises.
Okay.
Until we demonstrate to them how important it is for the cause to be realized and recognized by the university,
okay,
they will never attend to our needs.
So you were beaten up and then that was it?
We were beaten up. And of course, it's a rugby match, so one would expect that the majority of the students who were there are white students and their parents, of course. So they outnumbered us. We got chased away from the rugby field, and we were called names. Kafirs, we were called animals, we were called monkeys. And at that point, what was more disappointing, the rector of the university was there. The rector did not say anything.
Oh, so Professor Johnson was at the venue when you were assaulted?
Yes, he was drinking drinks. He was sitting at a VIP suite.
Okay.
And what was more disappointing also to that was that after the incident, the match continued as if nothing had happened.
Okay.
Now, this for me is a university that shows that they will go out of its way, okay, to protect white supremacy, to protect the interest of the minority.
I want us to take a quick break. When we return, we'll be taking your calls as viewers. You may be at UP, you may be at Free State, wherever you are. The number to dial, 089-110-4210. Let's hear your views. This is Question Time.
How great would it be to have Sia back for this reunion?
He's been traveling Africa for years. He's impossible to get a hold of.
We know what he drinks.
Let's find him.
Yeah!
You think it worked?
Hey, guys!
I'm coming home, tell the world that I'm coming home.
It all comes together with a castle. Mancosa, Southern Africa's leading distance learning institution. Accredited, affordable and accessible management education programs. Higher certificates, diplomas, undergraduate and postgraduate degrees. Register at Mancosa and be part of Southern Africa's leading private business school. Visit our website mancosa.co.za. Mancosa, management education reimagined.
Are you the person we're searching for? The guy who steps up, way, way up? The queen of the pop and lock, and whatever this is. The party train conductor, all aboard. The answer is yes, you are that guy, and we salute you, party comrade. Join the movement online.
Welcome back. You're still watching Question Time. Our guest today, Kabelo Mahlobogwane. He's the EFF student leader at the University of Pretoria. Monet Mostert is AfriForum student leader at the University of Pretoria as well. And from our Bloemfontein studio, Lindo Wuhlentuli, who is the University of Free State SRC president. They were badly beaten last night, physically so. Itumeleng, you are in Pretoria. Welcome.
For today, I saw a positive sign at the University of Pretoria. Students were praying, both white and black students were praying for peace. So I want to support them by saying this scripture from the Bible to give me a chance. Jesus knew what they were thinking. So he said to them, any country that divides itself into groups which fight each other will not last very long. And any town or family that divides itself into groups which fight each other will fall apart.
Which scripture is that, Itumeleng?
This was towards all students.
Itumeleng, give us the scripture. Which one is that?
Matthew 12, verse 25.
Okay, Matthew 12.
Yeah, verse 25. So I want to say to all the students who are Christian to try and resolve this issue non-violent. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Monet, there's a scripture for you, Matthew 12, verse 35.
Yes. And I believe it's very important for us to learn from this verse, where we should get together and consult each other to say, listen, guys, we don't need to fight regarding the language policy. We just need to cater for each other and to ensure that no one's right is trampled on. And it's very important for students on campus, and I applaud the students on campus for getting together and to standing up for a single cause, and that cause being a non-violent, campus, and a campus filled with a campus that functions well, and where students can go to get a degree.
All right. I'm not so sure if you really want this scripture.
No, I don't have time for this, but I want to respond on this man here. I don't know how he's speaking about the scriptures and non-violence, because what perpetuated this violence is that last week Thursday we had a meeting with management whereby only the EFF Students Command, PYA and UP Rising were invited. During that day in the morning, AfriForum was marching on campus. They were not guarded by anyone. There was not even one security guy following AfriForum as they did as they liked on campus. And because they were bored, they were getting no attention, they decided to go and occupy the venue where we were supposed to have a meeting. When our students went to the venue, they were attacked. Wenzila Matonsela was also attacked by an African white boy with arrogancy there. And then that's why many black students then got agitated and they thought of fighting back. So we managed to calm them down, and then after the court yesterday, we wanted to go and have a meeting at the amphitheater there with our students. As we are approaching the amphitheater, a group of white students with leaders that are not even students at the University of Pretoria approached us, and they just formed a barrier on our road. Colin Fosher, the head of security at the University of Pretoria, was there. He instructed the bouncers now to protect the white people. We don't know why protect them, and the bouncers were facing us, intimidating us. We questioned on why are we being now intimidated by these bouncers, because all we want is to pass and go to the students and to the amphitheater. And then we asked them to ask these white boys on what's their agenda, where are they trying to go, so we can make way for each other and move where we're going, so they go where they were going. They refused up until the police came. The police tried to speak to them. They opened a very small passage. When we passed, some of our students were attacked at the back, the last crew to move there. So as they were being attacked, because we were already at the front, they were running back towards us, and those boys were chasing them. The bouncers were all over. And then instead of the police now, because they were armed with, they were nyalas on campus, tear gas and stun greens and everything. Instead of them now protecting us, they told us to run away. White police members said, run away. We asked, why are you running away? We are on campus and we are here. Why can't you protect us? So that's why we are in this.
Okay, hold it there. Daniel, you are in Mpumalanga. Daniel? We seem to have a problem there. Okay, let's go to the Free State and check. Have you had any communication with Professor Jansen since last night?
We never had any form of communication. We had expected that with the memorandum that we had sent to him, he would welcome us and engage us on the contents of the memorandum. But he told us that he does not have time for that. And since last night then, we could not meet, we could not communicate.
Okay, do you have any reported or recorded injuries? I mean, the assault was quite bad, and what is happening in as far as that is concerned?
Well, we had some of the workers and some of the students who were injured during the procession who are currently being treated in hospital. So we have also a few individuals who did not sustain bad injuries. So we have some of them on campus. We are protesting with them as we speak.
But do you somehow feel that you were wrong to disrupt a rugby match?
No. We are not wrong. If we
Why
had to
didn't
do it
you
again,
disrupt a soccer match?
there was no soccer match. If there was, we were going to do that, and particularly because we have to weigh the interest. The university is prioritizing the minority over the majority, and particularly because you have the workers' struggle. Workers who have been suffering for more than 20 years, some of them. They continue to suffer under poor working conditions. They continue to suffer under poor salaries, slave salaries. And the university takes priority over rugby as opposed to the agenda of the workers, which is a legitimate one.
Masingita, Limpopo.
Yes, how are you?
I'm well, thanks for the call.
I'm good. I'm dealing with the protests that's happening at University of Pretoria with the hashtag #OutsourcingMustFall, simply because others, which is the minority, are learning at an advantage. It's called marginalization because everybody wants to learn in their mother tongue, but it's going to be much more difficult to add all 11 languages in University of Pretoria than cutting Afrikaans. African students can understand English. Why can't we all learn in English?
Okay,
that's the question.
Yes.
I think it's a comment, but I also want to add that some of us, we come from schools whereby you end up doing all subjects. Maybe let's say now you're doing Zulu. Even you end up doing even English and Zulu, the teacher will tell you, lay verb. I understand that's how disadvantaged our schools are. But when we get to the University of Pretoria, we have to adjust to everything, the environment and even the English that's being spoken. Then the Afrikaans as well. A lecturer, University of Pretoria would hire a lecturer who doesn't know English, but only knows Afrikaans. A lecturer would come to your class, lecture you and say, and so forth and so forth. You understand? So they are putting quality in Afrikaans at the expense of English students.
Morning.
Yes, I would like to answer on a lot of the mentions that was made, and I think it's important to understand that most of the modules being given at the University of Pretoria is firstly given in English. So there's I think it's only 15% of the modules are given in Afrikaans. So the comment about only Afrikaans being on campus, it is totally untrue. Secondly, when you look at the University of Pretoria, and if you look at the multilingualism feature, we want the university to go and develop a Sepedi on campus because it's one of the African languages that is part of Pretoria and has always been and has a place in Pretoria. And it's very important for students to go to and force the university to make place for these type of students.
Moni, hold it there. I need to take Tanika very quickly and briefly, please.
Hello?
Hi, go ahead.
Yes, how are you?
I'm well.
I'd just like to say I'm a student at the University of Pretoria, and I'm actually very deeply saddened by what's been going on. I haven't been there in person when the violence has broken out. I'd prefer to distance myself from that. But what I'd like to say is I believe both the AfriForum group and the EFF Student Council, I agree with both sides of what the arguments they are presenting. However, I don't believe they are doing it in the correct way, and because of that, tensions are breaking out. Maybe for the EFF student leader that's there, if you try and get your points across in a different way and maybe explain more thoroughly to the student body of the university what your plans are for the change, the change in language, maybe people would not be so aggressive and defensive towards you, and instead would support you, as I do. I just don't believe that the violence and the conflict between students, it's not how it should be at a university level.
Thank you very much, Tanika. That was our last caller. Perhaps very quickly from the Free State, what is going to happen now? Way forward.
Let me say also that after the game last night, the white students were roaming around on campus. They were driving around on campus, looking for the SRC president and looking for protesters. And they got into an altercation, physically so, with some of the protesters to an extent where police had to intervene. And AfriForum must not come here with an agenda of making peace they are the ones who instigated violence.
All right, hold it there.
They are the ones who...
Thank you. I have to cut you. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. EFF Student Command Leader, thank you very much for your time as well. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. I hope you will be able to get a resolution, a peaceful one for that matter, as the days unfold. Thank you very much for your time. That was Question Time for today. A big thank you to my guests and to you for watching the show. For me and the crew, you have yourself a wonderful time. Goodbye.